to you live from the On Air Media Studios here in Dallas, Texas. Welcome to Sound Bites with Susan and Waylon, where we take a short extraction of our daily lives as publicists to share with you all. My name is Waylon Tate with J. Waylon and Associates.
And I'm Susan Friedman of Friedman Marketing and Public Relations.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to you all. Happy Monday. It's going to be a busy week, obviously, as our weeks are most of the time. But you said you have a lot of events coming up this week yourself. Are you working on them or just going to them?
A little bit of both.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But you know what? Did you work last week? It was 4th of July week.
Normally, well, you know this, we are both workaholics, right? Yeah. Around the clock. And I just basically said, I'm just not doing it. So I worked 2 days last week.
For you.
Yeah. It was kind of a downtime, and you know, I teach one class on Tuesdays and Thursdays nights, federal government class, and I gave them off for the holiday.
You're like, please take off.
Yeah, so I really had no kind of commitments or obligations, so I did take off. Did you? Did you work?
I took off Wednesday. I worked a little bit on Wednesday, but I hung out by the pool drinking Aperol Spritz. That's my summer drink right now.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yum. And, but I did work Thursday and Friday, and it was wonderful actually, because I don't feel like anyone else was working, so we got a lot accomplished. It was really nice, actually.
I did too. I got to check off 3 different projects that I've been working on. I know. And it's always an accomplishment, right?
Yes.
Doing what we do is such a stressful, very tedious operation. And so when you get to finally, do your final wrap up and send the client
the publicity report.
Yeah, the report. It's like check, and it feels so good.
I love the check marks.
I am obsessed with them. But I did get to have a little bit of downtime this week. I was still working, but as you always talk about on the show, I'm obsessed with drag, and I'm really not. But one of our clients is Don't Tell Supper Club on Commerce, which is just an incredible space and venue. Have you ever been?
Yes.
Okay,
I
good.
have
I'm gonna have to bring you in just as my guest so we can have the whole shebang.
Yes.
And I'll get us
I
bottle
would love
service
that.
and
I need
everything.
to go back because when I went, it was very early. It was their 6 o'clock opening, which is when it first opens,
yes.
and you don't get the same
experience
at all.
Right.
Than if you go later. So we didn't have the full experience.
I'll set it up and I'll take you and Brian, and we'll
Okay.
do bottle service and everything. We'll get the fireworks and all the shebang.
Love that.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. But yesterday, they did so every other Sunday they do a drag brunch. And yesterday was a special drag brunch because all of the money that they raised in tips went to Dallas Pets Alive, which is a no-kill shelter.
Oh, that's awesome.
You just got a new dog, so
Yes, from a
Shaggy,
rescue.
Shaggy, which is a rescue, but it was amazing, Susan. Like full house, completely 100% booked. Like literally not a place to sit, both upstairs and downstairs. Very Downton Abbey, right? Upstairs and downstairs. But it was really awesome. And just a shout out to Lush in North Park Center, or the gallery, I can't remember which one the gentleman came from. But amazing Bath and Body products, and they donated a ton of money a ton of gift bags to auction off. And it was so funny watching Jenny P, who's the host, auction off. I mean, one of the box sets went for $400. It was like,
wow.
So much fun. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, how much was raised again?
About $4,000.
That is amazing. Congratulations. Yeah. And that's just one, what, was that a 2 to 3 hour
2.5 hours.
$4,000.
It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
And it goes a long way in that, in that industry.
Yeah.
So we hope we saved a lot of puppies and provided them some much needed resources. So it was a great way to end my weekend, I have to say. What did you do this weekend?
It was 4th of July week.
That's right.
A lot of people didn't work. Did you work?
No. I worked 2 days.
Good for you, because you work all the time. I know
Likewise,
that.
you do as well.
And you have not only do you do your PR agency, but you have a lot lot of businesses on the side.
I do.
So, yes, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very
and
proud
likewise,
of you. You
my
still need to take
inspiration.
a true vacation.
I do. It's 18 months. It's been 18 months now since I've gone on vacation, not to work.
But I'm having an anxiety attack just thinking about that. But anyway, so I did take Wednesday off. I worked a little bit, but mainly I hung out by the pool and I drank Aperol Spritz, which is my summer cocktail.
Yours and Chelsea Handler's, by the way. She's obsessed with Aperol Spritz.
Really?
Yeah,
she used to be all vodka. And she heard about it from me. Okay, so I did that, and then we worked on Thursday and Friday, but it was nice because we didn't have a bunch of emails and we got things done that we needed to do.
Sure.
So that was really nice. I actually really enjoyed it.
Good.
It was mellow. I liked it like
Good.
that.
Yeah, it's kind of a calm time for both. I mean, we're busy, but you'll remember we even talked about it on the show. You know, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
We literally had to take a show off, right? Because we were both sick because we were working like 23 hours a day.
It was crazy.
But I feel like things are calm and we're having a good roller
Although
coaster
this week I'm involved in a lot of activities and events. So, and you need to RSVP to some of these, okay?
Done.
And this first one I think I've talked about before, and it's one of my favorite organizations in Dallas because I love history, and it's the Dallas Historical Society.
Okay.
And they have an event, it's free, and it's called Pour Yourself into History. You go to different locations around Dallas, and they tell you the history about it. And it's cash bar, and maybe 50 to 75 people show up. It's been at the Statler, it's been at some places in Deep Ellum, and it's just a lot of fun, and I really enjoy hearing about it and experiencing new places that I haven't been to before.
Oh gosh.
So the next one is this Tuesday. It's free. It's at 6 o'clock, and it's at my client's AC Hotel, which is inside the old Mercantile Commerce building that was built in the 1950s. So I have been doing some research, and I actually went to the Dallas Historical Society's home, which is in Fair Park at Hall of State. Have you ever been there?
I have.
It is beautiful. Do we have a picture of it?
Of the Hall of State.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
it
there
is.
it
I mean,
is.
that's not the best picture. Thank you. That was me who took it. But it is so gorgeous. It was built in the 1920s. And if you haven't been there, I didn't grow up in Texas. Supposedly, it's one of those school trips that you take to Fair Park and visit all the buildings.
Sure.
That was my first time there, and it's gorgeous.
If I'm not
Absolutely
mistaken,
gorgeous.
I
And
think
they have a library there.
Yeah,
too.
they do. If I'm not mistaken, I think Hall of State just went through like a mini renovation.
It did go through a
So FGI did their Night of Stars last year at the Hall of State. It was amazing, an amazing event, by the way. But they had that room dressed like you cannot even believe. It was.
Oh my gosh.
It was beautiful.
They don't need to dress it because it's just, it's gorgeous. It is. I didn't realize there was anything like that in Dallas. Then I actually had some power meetings with some associations, and one of them being the Uptown Dallas Inc.
Okay.
And they do a little bit of everything for Uptown.
They do.
And they're having happy hour actually this Thursday at Medici. So I wanted to go and check it out and see what's going on.
We should do that for sure together.
I would love it.
It's been
I'm
a long
going
time
by
since we've
myself.
had drinks,
so that is at 5:30 to 7:30 at Medici in West Village, and it's a social networking.
Sign me up.
or two.
Anytime there's drinks, I'm readily available. So.
Okay. I'm with you. We're always talking about drinking.
Yeah.
And then I planned a date 2 months ago with my husband because this is a monthly event and it was booked for May and June.
Okay.
So here we are in July, and it is at Checkered Past Winery, which is near Southside on Lamar.
Okay.
And we've talked about this, how magicians are making a comeback.
They sure are.
And this is Wine and Magic with Trig Watson.
Okay.
Is it right? Yes.
Is he a
Trig
local
Watson.
magician?
Yes, he
Okay.
is, and he actually is award-winning. I mean, he won the Texas Magic Contest, and then he went on to the World Contest in Las Vegas, and he was the highest. What is it? He got the highest number of points for America, like out of all the Americans participating, he got the highest number.
And he's here.
And he's here, yeah. He's performed on Penn & Teller's Fool Us. He's been on CW's Masters of Illusion and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we are going.
She's just booked up our entire calendar.
I know. Well, we talked about cocktails. There's a huge, one of the country's largest cocktail conferences next week in New Orleans. It's called Tales of the Cocktail. And because I represent so many liquor companies, we're going. I'm sending my assistant, Anna. And therefore, I have chosen to go to one of my favorite bands, and it's one of the first concerts I've ever seen, and that was the Violent Femmes and Echo and the Bunnymen. They're performing, so we're doing that on Sunday night.
You're gonna have so much fun. Before the
I
show,
know.
we were talking about it, and I said that the Violent Femmes is so our generation, right?
I'm going to have bags under my eyes on Monday.
You're gonna have so much fun, though, and Anna's gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah,
So,
she's in her 20s and
she'll
can do
enjoy.
all that. There's some late night things
Can't
going
wait to hear the report
on,
backs.
But you know, it's funny. I've been the last 2 years, and as publicists, we are booked back to back with TV, radio, podcast segments, interviews. So as publicists, we don't even go to the seminars and a lot of the parties and stuff like that because we're with all of our ambassadors doing interviews.
That's right. That's absolutely
So-
right. And so it's rare that we get to actually enjoy whatever's taking place, right? Because we're on, it's like, you know, tons of, like every single digital item I have is going off and getting people, you know, to their interviews and stuff on time. But I'm glad, this will be good for you. And New Orleans is such a great place to chill and relax.
And Anna went with me last year, and I've taken, you know, we've gone through the ropes and all that good stuff. And she's absolutely amazing. Shout out to Anna Davis, my associate.
So sweet and so on top of her game. So that's great. So really, really quickly, I do want to mention, because I think that it was in our notes as well, Bastille Day is coming up, right? And although I think Bishop Arts is actually doing kind of a Bastille Day at large, one of my clients is Tillman's Roadhouse in Bishop Arts, and so they're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. So, and then Pearl on Maple, I believe.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I actually skipped over that. Pearl on Maple is actually one of my clients, and they are at the Stoneleigh Hotel, and they are doing, it's a French-inspired restaurant, so they're celebrating Bastille Day, bringing in a live Marie Antoinette to guard the unlimited cupcake bar.
I love that.
They're gonna have a preset French menu, a sparkling bar with Moet Chandon. Like, it's, yeah, so honestly, I told my husband, I'm like, after we go see the magic show, we have to go to Bastille Day and celebrate. They're gonna have a French DJ and everything, so yeah.
Is it gonna be French music, I'm assuming,
yes,
right? Okay.
Yes.
Well, Tillman's is doing oysters, so just so you know, it'll be a lot of fun though. So, but I want to get to the break because I'm so excited for this guest.
Next
like,
guest.
You guys, I don't know if you know this.
Yes,
we have so much to talk about because in my previous life, before doing PR, I did makeup for 15 years, and so I have an obsession with all things aesthetic, makeup, skincare, skin treatments, and all of that. So we have a phenomenal guest coming up right after our break from Crudo Vodka. We'll see you in a minute.
And we're back, and I'm excited to introduce you all to Marie Reyes. She's a skincare expert, former model, owns SkinSpaMED, owner and founder of it, started a product line called Rags to Riches, and a lot of people may have seen her on Real Housewives of Dallas a couple years ago now.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being on our show. We're really excited.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. It's like, that's really the reason we started our podcast, is because Susan and I have so much stuff going on in our mind, because we're like, you know, in the mix with all of the events, and it's like, I feel Susan to that sometimes she just like splurts it all out because we have so much to do. But we appreciate you being here, and of course this is like super exciting for me because, as I said before the break, I love skincare, and I'm sure you do too. You have beautiful skin yourself. So where do we want to start?
Well, I wanted to talk about first your SkinSpaMED, because that's been around for how many years?
14.
14.
Wow.
Yes.
Congrats.
Congratulations. That's a long time. And I actually love the concept of it. In fact, you may have been one of the first SkinSpaMEDs that has membership.
Correct.
So do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. I mean, I think the neat thing about the way we packaged everything is, rather than just selling, say, a package of photofacials or a package of hair removal, we decided to do an open-ended package where you purchase a membership, which entails you the entire menu. So out of like 12 laser procedures, you get to kind of pick and choose. Of course, we give you medical guidance with that. We don't just like stick you in there and go, here, it's all in this room, take it. Right. But you know, we treatment plan with the clients, but you have access to everything. And that way we can do a comprehensive program for everything.
Your website's SkinSpaMED.com.
Yes,
so you need to go there because it's very informational. It has the pricing. Like, I hate it when websites don't have the price. It's very affordable, and it lists all the different services that you can get. So, and then you have like, you can choose 2 treatments, a 3 treatment plan per month, or
4.
Wow. So yeah, you need to go to it and check it out. And the options are awesome. You know, I think it's something that anyone can use, whether it's just a peel or some type of an injection or what have you. So, yeah.
What is your most popular treatment?
Our most popular is still photofacial, and photofacial is primarily designed to treat sun damage. So we're in Texas, and so we have sun most of the time.
Yeah.
And so most people, when they get into their 30s and beyond, have some amount of sun damage that they need to repair. So pretty much we're doing 2 photofacials per hour per location.
Wow. How many locations do you have?
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Where are they, by the way? I'm just curious.
The Dallas one is located near the Galleria on Alpha, and South Lake Colleyville is on Colleyville Boulevard.
Oh, that's a great space out there.
Waylon's like, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm there.
for sure. No, because I've been in this ongoing battle. I turned 40 this year, right? And let me tell you what, the gays are relentless. Like my community is probably the most judgmental community, especially among ourselves. And so, you know, I've dabbled a little bit in Botox, you know, and injectables a little bit. And so I've been inching closer to the vampire facial.
Do you have a lot of male clients?
We do, yeah. And it's grown. Over the 14 years I've seen the male clientele has consistently gotten higher and higher.
Oh, that's interesting. Very good. Well, from that, you also launched a skincare regime.
Yes.
And that you launched 2 years ago. I think you were celebrating your 2-year anniversary, so congratulations. And it's called Rags to Riches. And you should describe it because it uses a lot of scientific terminology that I am not going to remember.
So we've got a picture of the products on the screen right now, but I would love for you to go through them one by one.
Sure. So the first thing to kind of realize is that the Rags to Riches is an acronym. So R stands for retinol, A stands for antioxidant, the G stands for growth factor, and the S is for sunscreen. And all 4 of those components are essential every day. And I kept it to only 4 products because if you make it too complicated, people have a tendency to let it sit on their counter and just not use it because they don't know what order to do it in, they don't know what to do. So it gets, I think sometimes if you make skincare too complicated, you lose the benefits. Right. So basically with this system, there's 2 really important for daytime. I guess you can probably assume the sunscreen's one of those. And then there's 2 for nighttime. But you can technically put all of them together. They're pH balanced, so they can all layer together. So you could pump 1, 2, 3, 4 and put it on and be done. If you don't want to have to think about it or read the bottles, you can just pump, 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 and just go. But yes, it's designed specifically, just these 4 products for a reason. The retinol specifically keeps your cell turnover rate the same as it was in your 20s. Okay. So even if you are in your 40s or beyond, you can get your cell turnover rate back to what it was in its 20s. We micronize the retin-A molecule so that it's time released over 16 hours, so you don't have the dryness factor that you do with other retinols. The antioxidant is there for the daytime primarily to help with free radical damage, and it helps protect the aging process that occurs when you come into free radicals during the day. The growth factor is there to help supercharge your system, keep all of your cell information replicating the same so that they produce new healthy young cells each time. And then, you know, protect it with the sunscreen, and you're set. That's it. I mean, it's simple, simple yet complicated.
You make it sound so simple, and there must have been tons of research and marketing and obviously knowledge. So how did you get to learn about all these products and create this line?
I have been a connoisseur of everything skin related since I was 20. I just poured into it. I saw my first wrinkle at 20, which is, I know it's a little premature for most people, but I'm really fair and I got a lot of sun damage. And at that point I was like, gosh, why is this happening to me? It's not happening to my friends. I started really looking at things whenever I could find them. And I started actually using sunscreen at that moment, and I began using retinol at that moment too. So I actually started those 2 parts of the 4-part system. I started immediately upon, you know, the first evidence of aging, and was a big fan of them. I said, if you can do just 2 things every day, put sunscreen in the morning and put the retinol at night. And from that, it kind of grew over the years. Like the more I could find, the more I read, the more I learned. You know, everything in the industry has kind of, you know, just came to where we are now. It's building blocks on what we knew and kind of where we are now. And you know, we take it and we just bump it up to the next level. And now what we're seeing are products that most of the time it takes at least 4, if not 8 weeks to see a difference with most things.
Okay.
Sometimes now you're able to see a difference in as little as a week or 2 because of the way some of the products are formulated. However, collagen is still a 60-day process. You can't rush that to really see the big difference. You have to wait.
Very good. So you also were a registered nurse at one point. So did that medical training and background help as well?
I think so. I did a little bit of wound care when I was in home health, and so I taking care of skin, especially when an area of the skin is wounded and it's healing. There's a certain flow that the tissues go through as far as the healing process is concerned, and so you learn a lot about skin. And it's interesting because laser's the same way, and we do a lot of, with CO2, we do a lot of controlled injury to create the healing process, because with that gives new collagen. So a lot of that from my past, from the wound care, is still used day to day at the clinic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's just technology has grown, and my interests have kind of like, just zeroed in,
I find it so interesting. As we interview different entrepreneurs, we hear about their background and how they've taken a little bits and pieces of their past experience to fruition to where they are today. So I think it's really interesting to see that.
Yeah, it's like a journey, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Like everybody goes through a journey, and it's bits and pieces of your past that, and never more so than when you're talking about entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
You're always bringing some elements of what you've done before, and I appreciate the story of kind of like those first signs, right? Of being kind of self-reflective, I guess, and going, oh, I don't like that, I need to change it. So she took it to a whole different level by creating her own product. And trust me, it is no small feat. I mean, we're saturated with products. And I think that what people would appreciate about your line is its simplicity, right? That you're keeping it, into the narrow. Because you're right, whenever you look at 40 products on you just get fatigued. You're like, oh, I don't even know what to do. And you don't do anything.
You just brush your teeth and go.
Yeah, and you're like, I'll do it tomorrow, and then I'll do it tomorrow, and it never ends up happening. So.
Which was more challenging, starting your first company with SkinSpaMED or launching a new product line?
Oh my goodness.
And they're both really different, even though they're both in skincare, but yeah.
I think honestly the office was more complicated. There was a big ramp up the first 5 years of owning the business, because you don't know what you don't know. So you're constantly encountering things and going, okay, well that didn't really come to fruition, so let's try this avenue. With products, I think I already could kind of cherry pick from other manufacturers things that I liked and didn't like. So I feel like I already had a pretty good kind of foundation before I started the formulation part of the business. But it is such an interwoven, connected business, because I do the injectables, so I do all the Botox and all the fillers. My specialty is fillers, and I absolutely love that aspect of what I do. But it's a little bit of everything. You have to have a little bit of laser. You have to have a little bit, typically, of some type of an injectable, whether it's a Botox or it's a filler. And then you have to have good at-home care as well. And if you put all three together, even if you're just doing little steps, you see huge returns in about 6 months.
Yeah, it's
exciting.
It's kind of like adjusting the levers, right? Like some people need, because this is something else that I learned throughout my career, is that everyone has this assumption that it's the same regimen for everyone, right? Be that with skincare or procedure, and it's not. Like everyone has different skin,
different
and so you
needs.
have to like adjust the way in which you do things based on their own water content level or how dry they are, and what their problem areas are.
Correct. Yeah. And we do that. We do actually this thing called a Vizio skin analysis. When we get our clients in at first, we put them in front of the analysis camera, and that allows us to get 6 criteria, actually 9. At the bottom row too, there's 9 actual different things that their skin is graded on, and that allows us to kind of tailor the treatment plan based on sort of where they fall in the spectrum of their peers for that age group.
That is great.
Susan, fast forward to next show, and you and I are going to get that, and we're going to talk about our results. I
Do
think
we
that
have
would
to
be,
show it?
Yes, we're going to show it on the screen.
You can like black out your your result
Well, I haven't
numbers.
had it analyzed, but I've looked in one of those mirrors where it makes your skin all blotchy, like based on damage. Is that what it is?
One of the photos is a UV picture, which is the woods lamp, which I think you've seen, and that's scary. It is.
Yeah. You can
We're doing
we'll
it.
do
We're doing
yours.
it. No, you can do. I mean, hello. I'm Irish. I've got freckles. It's all going to show up. It's a solid black screen.
Great.
But, no, I think it would be fun. I
Yeah.
think that'd be a lot of fun for us to, go in and check out and see what maybe we need to do ourselves. So, we always like to talk when we're talking with entrepreneurs about kind of both what it's like starting a business and then what it's like maintaining a business. So what have you felt, or what do you feel have been kind of the biggest challenges about the maintenance of your own companies?
Oh my, hiring is so critical. I think it's difficult. It's sort of like picking a jury.
Sure.
You have to be able to get inside someone's head and think how they would react in a situation to know kind of where they belong in the organization. And I'd like to believe that over the years I've gotten better at picking the right people for the right position. But you're as good as your people. I truly believe that. If you empower people with the right knowledge and personality and expertise, then they can be an ambassador for you, for the brand. So I think that's the hardest part because it's outside of you, and I speak for a lot of entrepreneurs, but it's hard not to want to do everything yourself, and delegating becomes such a scary thing. And I think the first 5 years, like I said, of a company are there's so much unknown, and you're learning so much over trial and error, and then as you get past little hurdles, you get a formula that sort of works.
Right.
And then you can tweak that ever so slightly as you move along. But I would say, interestingly enough, my South Lake Colleyville office, sales-wise, did in 1 year what we were doing year 6 in Dallas. But that was because they're only 6 years old. So we had the experience of, like 8, 9 years of Dallas of doing it before we tried it again. But we had a nice blueprint at that point, and so it was much easier to replicate.
That makes so much more sense, right? Once you've been through the mix and you understand what you're doing.
Makes it so much easier.
Are you thinking of any other potential other additional locations?
My husband asks me that constantly, and I'm really happy with where we're at right now, and I don't want to spread myself too thin. I don't want to overload any of the other integral people we have in place right now. So I'm really happy with what we've got going. We pull a lot from the north, from Frisco, Plano, to the Galleria location, and we pull from the south, from people who live in downtown, uptown. So I mean, I still feel like we're getting a lot of people from a lot of areas. Does it mean we could go other places and get more? Probably.
Okay.
There's always a maybe there. I'm not going to hold myself to anything.
No, I'm excited. I'm like, do it.
It's a lot of work, and like I said, I'm still working on that delegation of feeling really confident with knowing things are going to be done the way the company wants them to be, even if I don't do them. So it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, and I'm happy with the way things are right now.
Good.
So.
That is great.
Well, where can people get Rags to Riches if they want?
On the SkinSpaMED.com website, we have a link to Rags to Riches. There's ragstoRiches.com. There's also MarieReyes.com has a link. And both locations, the Colleyville South Lake office and the Dallas office, have it stocked on the shelves every day.
Love it. We'll share all of Marie's amazing products on our own website and across our social media. And we thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It was
you.
such a
We
joy.
still have our fun fact.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
right. We gotta
fun
do it.
fact.
This is
Rapid
we'll try
fire.
to do it rapid fire. Here we go. Number 1, and these are fun facts that you probably don't know about Marie Reyes. So, number 1, what item can you not live without?
It's a toss-up. I can't live without sunscreen and lip balm. Either one. I mean, I guess if I was really hard pressed, I guess I could put the sunscreen on my lips. But I mean, no. I'm going to say it's a tie.
As soon as I read the question, I'm like, it's going to be a skincare item. Okay. During your limited free time, you like to?
There's this business, and I'm not going to tell you where it's at. The name is Soul Therapy. It's a Chinese massage. It is the best 1 hour of my week. I'll just say that. It just sets me right on path. It's so amazing and relaxing, and it's incredible.
I'm always
Good
looking
thing
for a
for Google.
massage. Okay, number 3. If you could meet one person, living or deceased, who would you like to meet?
My daughter and I are obsessed with the play Hamilton right now, so I'm going to go with Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, that's great. So did you see it then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where?
I saw it in New York first, and then we saw the LA premiere.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
I
wonderful.
wanna
Both
see it. I
places,
look forward
amazing.
to
Yeah.
coming to Dallas.
So exciting.
For vacation, would you rather be on a beach, on a mountain, in a city, or in the country?
I mean, I like a lot of those, honestly.
It's a hard
The
one.
beaches, for me, I like waves. There's something about the waves are hypnotizing for me. So the waves make me happy.
The sound of the waves or in the waves?
Either one, but the sound for sure.
Yeah.
But if I can, have the wave touching me too, that's great. But I just just the sound of the waves is magical.
And final question.
Okay.
What car best represents you?
I'm gonna go with my car because I drive the Tesla Model X. And I picked this car for a reason because I'm a tech junkie and I love the technology. It's incredibly, it's like my iPhone. I think I only use 10% of what it can do, but I love the 10% that I use. So it's really awesome. It's super, super fast and silent. It's like stealth. You don't even know it's sneaking up on you.
gosh.
So.
And
I love
environmentally
Teslas.
conscious, I think,
Yes,
aren't they?
yeah, no gas.
Very good. That's my list of 5 questions.
She did
It's
good.
like, that was the hardest
She
interview
did
ever.
really good. No, not at all. Awesome. Well, we are, like I said, we're going to share all of your stuff on our website and
Thank you.
across our social media. And thank you so much for being here. It was a special joy for me, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you. We'll see you guys next Monday, and we wish you a wonderful week.